Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It's time for your first quiz. I want you to turn to each other, don't write anything, and ask them the following questions. Introduce yourself if you don't know them. Go!
Hello, my name's Jackie.
Name's Max.
Zach? Max. Nice to meet you.
Physics 2A?
For the summer, I read this book.
Good morning.
Not on the wait list. You can't get on the wait list?
No, I'll be turning people who are on the wait list away. So, sorry.
So not even on Wednesday? Like, I couldn't come to see if I could get on the wait list right now?
If you're not on the wait list, I just can't add, because
yeah.
I'll have people that'll be on the wait list and saying you can't add the class. So, yeah.
So if people drop, it's not...
No, I only do add drops on Wednesday. Like tomorrow is the only day I do it.
Okay.
And I'll retain people all the way through like the middle of the semester. So, sorry.
No.
Just want you to be able to make good decisions.
Okay, favorite book. There's a book I used to like reading. No. Yeah. No, that's it's hard to find a place. Oh, cute.
On like Pi Day, we have like little flags where it's so good. And then they just do like craft tables, do like a fun craft.
You get through it. I just have to transfer to first state. You did that.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to put a pin in this real quick because I have three very special guests that of their own accord. I put out an invitation to my Physics 2B students, okay? Anybody that wants to stay afterwards, because I just had them in this room, wants to stay afterwards and be asked questions by you guys. So these are former Physics 2A students who have survived, right? Okay. I want to give them a chance because they've got busy lives of their own. But we have Esme, we have Emma, and we have Araceli. They can come up here again. They volunteered, and I have not prompted them, but you are now allowed to ask them any question you want about me, about the class, about how to pass, whatever. Go.
You are not important. Do you tell them to ask?
No, that came up earlier too. What is going on?
Literally the first question for Mr. Balogh.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of identity thieves in here. Okay.
What was your favorite thing to learn about physics?
Okay, well, I have my bachelor's already, and this is well, I want to go into vet school, so I had to take. I was so scared to take it, but honestly, I think I enjoyed everything, and it's crazy. But I think a lot of it was just Mr. Vela, like just the way he teaches physics, and it just makes it so engaging. So like, I like the whole class pretty much, even though it's physics and hard and everything. I like it.
For me personally, I feel like physics was always like a hard subject. Last semester I took 2A, it was my second time taking physics. So like I was already kind of coming in with like kind of like in a negative mindset of like, oh, it's hard, this and that. But with Balogh, like I feel like he kind of changed my perspective on physics. Like it was hard, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. But I feel like it was bearable the way that he taught it. And like the way he was showing us, like it was really good. So highly recommend it.
He made every topic like I don't know, enjoyable.
Yeah.
Engaging.
Yeah.
There's no one thing that I can specifically say that was like my favorite. If I had to pick, it would be Mr. Balogh.
I am not paying them at all. You guys need to know this, right?
So we're literally waking up at what 6, 7 a.m.
To come here for an 8 a.m.
Yeah, which is crazy because normally I'm not like that.
Were there any challenges you guys faced during your classes with physics as well?
Keeping up with all of the equations. It's a lot of math. Keeping all of the equations clear in your head, what the symbols mean, and how to keep track of all of that was hard at the beginning, but once you start seeing the same symbols again, it gets a little bit easier. So that's focus on the equations, because they can move around, you can change them. Mr. Balogh will show you a whole bunch of equations, and he'll tell you, hey, you use this for that, this for this. And he'll take you through it, and then you can kind of get the math through.
I think for me it was like, obviously physics is a hard subject. Problems get harder as you go by. But I feel like making like a nice little group of friends, or even just one friend that you can talk to regarding physics, it helps a lot when you can teach someone what you're learning and vice versa. Like it helps in a lot.
I would often, a lot of the times I would walk out of class and I do not know what just happened. But what helped me a lot was watching the lectures and rearranging my notes and adding to my notes. That way it stuck better, and then when I had to review for the exam, I could look at my notes and I had everything on there. So I didn't really have to, like go back to the lectures again or anything like that. But I think that's what helped me a lot in this class.
One more question.
understand that have taken physics and know the math and can help you work through it. I utilized it a lot last semester during Physics 2A. Even if I didn't need the express help, going to the tutoring center just really helped because they were there for the support. And then GRASP too. Go to GRASP if you can't make to the tutoring center. GRASP was helpful.
You guys have taken like chemistry or like any other class that has a lot the labs for this class are like way like easier.
Comparatively,
compared to,
yeah,
like,
they were like
yeah,
yeah.
so don't be scared. Yeah, you guys will be fine.
All right, let's give them a hand, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Whichever way you want to go. They don't know this, but this is the first time I've ever been able to do that. Because Physics 2B is, for 24 years here, Physics 2B was taught after Physics 2A. Right? I'd have my 2A students, and then you would all leave, and then 2B students would come in. It's been reversed now, and so I thought, I wonder if anybody wants to stay and tell the physics. Like, I told them, what would you have wanted to know as a 2A student, right? Like, what would you have wanted to hear? So what did you hear from them? I'm just curious. Like, what was the vibe or the feeling, or what did you hear? Well, you heard about me, which is unfortunate. I didn't want them to do that. But what else did you hear?
Keep up with the equations.
Keep up. Okay.
Procrastinate homework.
Don't procrastinate homework.
Start your work early.
Start your work early.
It's not as scary as we think it is.
It's not as scary as you think it is. It's scary, but not as much as you think it is. I know I'm too old to be believed anymore, right? When I started here 24 years ago, everybody believed every word I said because I was practically the same age as you guys, right? Now I'm just an old white guy who doesn't know anything, right? And so nobody believes. So I wanted you to kind of hear it from your peers, right? Not tutors, right? But students that had me last semester, that survived, right? That made it, all that kind of stuff. All right. Why did I have you spend the first 5 minutes of this class talking to each other? What?
Maybe to look for people to work with.
People to work with? Our Three Musketeers said that working with people was important, right? But that's not why I had you guys talk to each other. It's a good guess. Don't be afraid to be wrong. Break the ice. Okay, wait a second. This is not psychology class, right? Or philosophy. We've got to be all friendly, right? This isn't just a STEM class. This is a physics class, right? How our physics class is supposed to happen? No clue? You haven't heard any horror stories? What's supposed to happen is you guys come in, I come in, and I have like a 40 or 50 minute conversation with the board, right? And somewhere around the 40-minute mark, somebody in the room will get the courage to like put their hand up to ask a question, and I'll like turn around shocked that there's still people in the room. Have you had classes like that? Right, okay. It's not to break the ice, believe it or not. You guys are all on social media, you know how to break ice already. Why would I want you talking? I haven't even introduced myself. Hi, I'm Mr. Balogh, by the way. Why would I have you, very first thing in this class, talk to each other?
Like relieve tension?
Actually, I'm an English teacher. I'm just trying to kill for time because I have no idea what I'm doing. No. It's not about relieving tension. It's okay. These are great guesses. And again, one of the things I need to teach you is that it's okay to be wrong. Yeah?
To get us comfortable speaking up.
Okay. Why would I want you talking to each other in lecture? Isn't lecture supposed to be me talking to you? How do you know when you know something?
When you can teach it to another person.
Okay? When you can teach it to somebody else. So when I tell you that in this lecture, you're going to have plenty of opportunity to be engaging with each other and telling each other and teaching each other things about the material, do you believe me or not? Why? Because you're the teacher, Mr. Bailey. I'll do anything to get an A. Why does that, if I tell you we're going to interact in lecture, this is going to be an interactive experience, do you believe me? Why? Because you did it already. The first thing. How many classes have you had where the teacher walks in and for 40, 45 minutes tells you how interactive their class is going to be and you never once interact with the teacher? Right? It's the very first thing you did. And I want you to remember that. Okay. So, where are you from? Shout them out.
Orange County.
Clovis!
Whoa, Clovis! So far away.
Very fun. Exotic.
Yeah. Oakland. We're getting further away. Madeira. It's not a contest, by the way. I love knowing where people are from. Nobody wants to say because ice or whatever, right? Where are we from? You're protected in here. You're safe. Philadelphia. East Coast. Wow.
I moved to California when I was 1. Oh, when I was 2, actually.
We'll accept you. It's okay. City of brotherly love. Where else? Where are you from?
India.
India. Love it. North, south? Northern India? Love it. Where else? Don't want to say. I respect that. I understand current political environments being what they are. I love Fresno City College is just where people are from around here. We're just like from all over. It's crazy. I love it. It's so cool. It's so cool. Were there any, what are your favorite things to do?
Video game.
Video game. Yes.
Make games.
Make games.
Bird watching.
Okay, that's cool. I tried it once and.
Hiking.
What?
Hiking.
Hiking. Yeah, I like hiking. That's cool. No, that's fantastic. Oh. Yeah. What else? Concerts. Music. Playing music? Anyone willing to admit? Yeah? I took up singing over the pandemic. My daughter and I did duets until she went and grew up and moved away. Does that sound like STEM people? Like, aren't scientists just supposed to be nerdy and sit on their computers all day? No, we're people, right? We're all people here. This is fantastic. I love it. Okay, where is your favorite place to eat in Fresno? It is not your mom's house because I'm not allowed to go there. Butterfish? I've avoided butterfish because my very first poke was in Honolulu, right? Like I was in Hawaii when I had my very first poke, and I kind of don't want to ruin it, right? But is butterfish okay? Still good?
Overpriced.
Okay. Overpriced?
Yeah.
Well, it's raw fish. It's going to be overpriced, right? I do like poke. I fell in love with that green seaweed. Normally, like the seaweed that's in sushi, I don't like the dried seaweed. I don't like very much, but like that green that looks like noodles. I just like noodle-shaped things, basically. So butterfish. Where else?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. I like Chick-fil-A. I think it costs too much, and you wait too much time to get it. But beyond that, I actually think it's pretty decent.
Angry Chicks.
Okay. Is that on Shaw?
There's one on Shaw and West and one on Blackstone and Boulevard.
Yeah, Blackstone and Bullard.
Angry Chicks. Now, okay, so do they sauce their fried chicken? No? Okay. I've got a problem with these Louisiana hot chickens and all that. You can make this wonderful, it's actually not that good, fried chicken, okay? Crispy, crunchy crust, all that kind of stuff, and then you dump liquid on it and serve it to me? No. Liquid goes on the side. And you, right? Not.
I feel like you can dump it on too.
Can you? Okay. We'll give it. Where else?
Winko sushi.
Wiko?
Winko.
Winko. Like W-I-N-C-O?
W-I-N-C-O.
Yeah.
Winko sushi.
Why am I writing these down? No, date ideas. I need help, right? I've been married for 28 years, right? And running out of ideas here. Yeah.
If you want a good place, I've heard the Limelight and the Annex Kitchen is really good for like a fancy night out.
We've been to the Annex Kitchen.
I've heard it's really good for my dad.
But Limelight?
Limelight is also really good.
Is it Limelight or it's Limelight?
I think it's just the Limelight.
Okay, the Limelight. Okay.
Maybe don't bring your significant other to Winko. It's a grocery store.
We were college students once. We remember what it was like. No, thank you. This is good. If you come up with any other ideas, shoot me an email. I need help. Why are you here? Could you reword that for me, please? Whoever said it's because of my degree? Because somebody's making you?
No, because I want to pursue computer science.
And to do that, somebody's making you take physics 2A? Right? Yeah. No, like nobody here woke up and went, yes, physics, I can't wait. Right? If you did, you're in the wrong major. We got to talk. Right? So, no, I get it. You are a captive audience. And what's more, we managed to get you to pay for it. Right? Like I am under no illusion that my students want to be here, right? Okay. But to be able to go on with what are your future educational plans? So how many of you are going for the bachelor's and that's it, you're going into the workforce? You've got a degree that's kind of taking you, some of us, right? So the rest of us are gotta have to go on, right? So what are you doing that's going to force you to go on to either master's or some other degree like PT school, whatever? What are you doing?
Pre-med to become an oncologist.
Pre-med? What else?
Research science.
Research science? How many physical therapy? Kinesiology, I'm going to, yeah, right? I love you people. You fix my back all the time. What else? What's in store for you, educate? Okay, and professionally, what do you want to be when you grow up? Architecture?
Ecologist.
Okay, fantastic.
Cardiologist?
Yeah, keeping those hearts healthy.
Zoologist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're kind of all over the place, aren't we? But did you sense a little bit of a theme? Minus the computer science. Sorry. You guys are great. Kind of life science oriented, right? Pre-med, bio, zoology, ecology, physical therapy, that sort of stuff, right? So the reason I want to know these kinds of things is because it helps me to tailor examples, right? More likely to pull maybe some examples from biomedical applications or that kind of stuff, right? So this is why I want to kind of know these things. So in your classes, is there something that you've seen a teacher do that really helped you in some way? What I get from this is teachers are not helpful. Putting notes on Canvas. No teachers inspired you? That's sad. We need to do better here at Fresno City College. Because I know you've had teachers before me. How do I know that? Physics. This class has prereqs, right? Nobody can wander off the street and go, I want to do physics. Anything your teachers have done that really helped you?
Be very expressive when they talk and when they teach to keep engagement.
How am I doing so far?
Really good. Very good.
Yeah.
Like your kid.
Thank you. I wasn't, but my daughter is.
Awesome.
True story. Second, third year teaching. I had forgotten my lunch. My dear wife brought my lunch to me, right? So she comes walking into the lab with my lunch, right? I'm terrible. And I grabbed her and I said, okay, everybody, pay attention. Mrs. Balogh is here. And for the next 2 minutes, you guys can ask any question you want, and she will answer truthfully. There was not a 1 second hesitation before one of the students threw his hand in the air and said, does he yell like that at home? And my wife was like, no. Because she's seen me teach like twice. And she's like, no, does he lie? Does he yell here? Everybody in the room was like, uh-huh. You need to understand something. I'm not yelling at you. I might be yelling in your direction, but generally I'm yelling at physics or the administration or something, okay? But like, there's a lot of shouting.
Hey, it keeps me engaged, so I'm happy about it.
Other people, it drives away. But we'll see what happens. Now it's your turn. What do you want to know about me? You got 4 minutes. Ask any question you want. I'm worried that some people see me like this, right? I know some people see me like this. At least half of you probably see me like this, right? But what? And then the rest of people think I make bombs all day long or something, right? So, but like, what? Anything you want to know. Doesn't have to be on the list. Anything you want to know about your teacher, go. Yeah.
What did you think about Oppenheimer?
I never watched it. Never watched Oppenheimer because I have a cadre of friends who feel it's their responsibility to protect Hollywood from me. And so they will tell me whether or not I can go see a movie based on their interpretation of how upset I'm going to be at the science or what happens or all that kind of stuff.
They think you'd be very upset.
Yeah. And from what I've heard, they were correct.
You mentioned that your daughter was you only have one daughter?
I have one daughter and I have one son. My son is a mechanical engineer up at BYU, Idaho. And my daughter, biology major, is currently serving a mission for our church in Colorado.
Has anyone ever said you kind of look like Rowan Atkinson?
That's the first Rowan Atkinson I've gotten, okay? When I first started, it was Tobey Maguire. I was thinner back then. And I had glasses, right? But yeah, no, Rowan Atkinson's new. Is it the bow tie? Yeah, it's probably the bow tie. This, by the way, is the only day you will see me in a bow tie unless you come to church on Sunday, in which case I wear bow ties there. But
Got any pets?
no, had kids. My wife is very allergic to animal dander, so we stay away from pets.
Why do you like physics?
Physics was my second love in terms of school. My first one, believe it or not, was teaching. I knew that I needed to be a teacher around the time I was age 14 or 15. That's a different story. But if there's one thing, like a gift or a talent that I will admit to, it's teaching. Like, I don't, no false humility here and no arrogance. Like, I'm good at it. And I've always been good at it, and I can't explain how or why I am good at it. I just, for some reason, have an ability to take something I understand and put it into terms so that other people can understand. I've been able to do it across disciplines, and it actually doesn't matter which discipline it is if I can understand it, I can help other people understand it, or at least make it interesting. Physics happened. I went to college thinking I wanted to be a sociologist of all things, because people interest me. Why they make decisions, all that kind of. So I went to sociology class, and it turned out to be weird and free will and a bunch of other things. And I knew I couldn't be a sociologist, so I was wandering around campus, wondering what to do with my life, and all the screaming was coming from the physics building. And so I went over there, I was like, why are you guys screaming? And they're like, 'cause this. And I discovered that, aside from teaching, my first love, that I needed to know why the universe was doing what it was doing, not just how. Thought I wanted to be an engineer because I love building things with my hands and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't enough to be able to put it together. I needed to know why things were happening the way they were. And physics tries to answer the why of the physical universe. So I did that.
I heard you really like bubbles.
Bubbles? Bubbles are amazing. I love bubbles. Physics 2B.
Are we ever going to use
Fire? Well, I mean, as a species, we've been using it for a long time. I'm not sure. In class? No. We're not going to blow anything up. We're not going to use like any Bunsen burners. When we get to thermodynamics at the very end of the semester, we'll be talking about heat, but not necessarily fire.
What's the most dangerous experience you've ever had in your physics class?
A demonstration I do in Physics 2B and 4B, where I split soda cans with electromagnetic impulses. The piece of equipment that I have developed or put together, it's not my idea, quite literally contains like 13 times the amount of energy required to kill me on the spot. And if I were to connect myself in the wrong way to it, I would be like dead. Like one instant I'd be here, and the next instant I'd be talking to St. Peter. Like it just would, there'd be no intervening time, okay? And so I've told my wife, in all seriousness, if I die at work, it is this machine. It's the only thing I have in my work area that I consider to be deadly. I'll play up the other stuff and make it seem more dangerous. Any other questions? Yeah?
In all of history, who would you want to speak to?
Michael Faraday. I assumed from physics history. There's other religious characters I would love to, but like in terms of physics, Michael Faraday, and I know most of you have no idea who that is. Faraday cage was named after him, in fairness. Okay, but he was responsible basically for everything that you use today. But you'll have to learn about him in Physics 2B. All right, that was a half hour, right? But it's an important half hour, right? We're going to be with each other for at least 18 weeks, right? And how many of you have to go on to 2B? Yeah, okay. Sadly, we're not going to be with each other next semester, okay? I will be teaching the Physics 4 series next semester. It's okay. I'll still be around. I'll still like you. You can come in and get help. It's okay, right? But we'll be with each other for a while. And it's so important that you understand, I understand that you're human, you understand that I'm human, and all of that kind of stuff. It says stop recording for a reason, Mr. Bailey. You should probably stop recording right now. We'll talk about let's see, where are we now? I did that. Okay. I'm going to offload a bunch of stuff till tomorrow, because tomorrow we've got time. Okay, and I apologize for the next 30 minutes, and for a lot of tomorrow, it's me talking at you because I've never found an interactive way to do the syllabus. Right? Like, well, turn to each other and discuss the syllabus. Okay? So it's just going to dump a lot of information on you, right? Please ask questions as we go. But I'm going to skip the text, the attendance, and homework. We're going to save that for tomorrow. Okay? Let's talk about exams, grading, and any miscellaneous things. Because these are things that, like, if I, for some reason, don't tell you, even though it's all in the syllabus, if I don't tell you it, people get upset and mad and angry, and I get a bunch of emails. There are 5... What kind of exams? Okay, let's talk about that. I can't help it. It's physics. What you learn in chapters 2 and 3, you need for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? We build, okay? So unlike other classes where, like, for example, history, I'm sure there's a preferred way or method to teach history, right? But you don't actually have to study ancient Egypt before you study early American history. They can be studied out of order and you can still learn from it, right? That doesn't happen in STEM fields. Chemistry, physics, biology, it's a ladder. And we have to hit every rung as we go. We can't just pull rungs out and put them at the top or something like that because it just doesn't work. You need to know about forces before we can tell you about energy and so on and so forth. So I don't go out of my way to make it comprehensive. So like on your Unit 3 exam, I'm not going to specifically go and get a question out of Unit 2, right? But the stuff in Unit 2 you need to know so you can do Unit 3. Am I making any kind of sense here? At the end of the semester, there's no comprehensive final over everything we did in the semester. I don't have to do that because everything we're doing at the end of the semester, you need all the stuff that came before it. This is one of the reasons physics is hard. You must keep up. This is not a class where you can take a week or two off and then come back and save your grade. It's a marathon and you have to run every step. And I wish it could be some other way. I wish it could be not that way or whatever, right? It'd be more modular, whatever. The subject, the way we present it in its modern formulations, is designed to get you started with specific skills and then build on those ideas and then keep running with it so that we can discover the beauty and awesomeness of the universe. Does anybody know what size piece of paper that is? Take a guess. 8.5. It's the 8.5 by 11, right? It's just we don't use stupid units in here. Okay, so 8.5 by 11, and we'll talk a lot more about that summary sheet, cheat sheet, whatever it is you want to call it, but I do let you bring in a single page of whatever you want on that paper that will act as your safety blanket during the exam, right? There's no qualifications there. There's one rule. You can't have a current copy of the exam you're about to take on it. Because if you did, you'd be a Time Lord and I want to know things, right? Beyond that, right? Put whatever you like, okay? And we'll talk about what's authorized help, what's unauthorized help, so we're all really clear. One of the things I desperately want to teach you is how important integrity is in STEM fields, right? Anybody that's been working with patients or patient records, you know that you've got certain rules that you've got to abide by. You break them, you're dead. So we'll start practicing that integrity as it relates to exams and other things. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. What is the scariest number on the screen? 65%! It's not the most important percentage on the screen. What's the most important one? Homework. Homework is where you are going to do 90% of your learning. It's not in here. Okay? In here, I'm hopefully helping you, right? So that you can do the hard work of the homework. Let me ask you this question. Who's responsible for your learning? It's you guys, not me. You can blame me, that's fine. I can take it, right? But it's not my responsibility for you to learn, right? That's your responsibility. And the more you understand that you are in the driver's seat. I know you've had a lot of classes and teachers that will convince you otherwise, but you guys are in the driver's seat when it comes to your performance and what you're learning and how you're learning it, all that kind of stuff. That's you, okay? What's my job? Actually, it doesn't say anything about that in my job description. Actually, learning is not mentioned in my job description either. My job description is full of things like do assigned duties and attend committee meetings and fill out paperwork and maintain academic records, right? What's my job? Facilitate the learning. Guess who in the room has been through physics? Right? Okay? I'm going to use a violent analogy and I apologize. But let's pretend like physics 2A is a minefield. Okay? It's a big field, mines are buried in it, can't see where they are. Somebody is telling you that you have to run through the field. You want to be computer science, you want to be a ecologist, whatever, right? Okay? Run through this field. Okay? You have to do the running. I cannot do the running for you. But as one who's been through the field, what can I do? I can tell you where to step, right? I can tell you where the mines are. I can say, don't step here. Now, some of you are going to step there. You're going to look at me and go, right? And I'm here to help pick up those pieces, okay? And help you move forward, all that kind of stuff. I can help you best at the beginning. Don't wait, okay, till the second exam to come to me, Mr. Bailey, I don't know what I'm doing. You got to do that early, right? Because you are in the driver's seat. Sometimes, there are times, if you've stepped on enough mines and you haven't let me help you, that we can't save you, right? And so there's other things that we have to do at that point. But like, I've been through it. I know where the pitfalls are. Here's another analogy for you. History. I like picking on history today. It's pretty fun. You come into history class, okay, with your bucket of knowledge, right? And you go to your history teacher, fill my bucket. Because the bucket's probably empty. You know some history, right? But a lot of details and things like you probably don't know. Hey, fill my bucket. And there isn't really anything in the bucket yet. Because you may not know everything there is to know about history, right? So teacher fills bucket. You come into physics with your bucket, and guess what's in your bucket already? History. Your physics bucket. You have been experiencing the physical universe every single moment of your conscious life, right? And there are things that you think you know about how the universe works. And so your bucket is full. And what's more, some of the water in it is really bad. Why is the sky blue? No! No! That is wrong! It's okay, you're fine. That is wrong! Why is the ocean blue? Because the sky is blue. What color is the ocean when there's a cloudy day? It's gray. Okay? The ocean's color depends on the sky, but the sky's color depends on something called Rayleigh scatter. Did that help you understand? No, but you have a piece of bad information, and so as a physics teacher, what do I have to do that the history teacher doesn't? I got to empty the bucket. I got to take your bucket, right? And it's going to feel like I'm just hammering on. You feel attacked? I'm sorry. You're going to just be like, what? Mr. Balogh he told me. I'm trying to get rid of the bad water. One of the things you have to learn in this class right away is how to fail quickly. Fail fast. And get those failures out of your system, right? Before you get to the exams, right? Another analogy, right? You're on the physics bike. And for the first parts, like I'm holding on to the seat as you go, right? But there comes a time when I have to do what? And you have to do it, right? And you'll learn how not to get your face rubbed into the dirt when you fall off the bike, right? Okay, you'll learn the muscle memory and the balance and all that kind of stuff. And I'll just sit there and cry as my babies go off. Okay. So the most important part of this percentage is the homework, because that's where you're going to be riding your bike. Okay? In here, we're dumping buckets out. You're filling buckets on the homework, right? Okay? Homework is where you're going to be navigating the minefield. And lecture is where I've kind of flagged things saying, do it this way, don't do it that. You're going to want to do it this way, don't. Okay? So that's kind of the paradigm that I work under. You can email me about getting extension to your homework, and the answer is just going to be no, okay? Because I just don't accept late homework. I do drop the 2 lowest homework scores. There's a homework assignment per week, about. And even if you have a bad week, something's going down, whatever, and you just can't get it turned in, like I said, it's a ladder, right? It's not like you can just skip chapter 7 and move on to chapter 8, okay? You still have to do the work of understanding the content of that chapter, even if you can't get the assignment in. But that 2 assignments being dropped is just my way of saying, look, couple of times during the semester, a couple of weeks during the semester, a low grade on homework is not going to hurt you immediately. Like, it's not going to hurt your grade immediately. We need to be worried about long-term effects on how that's going to happen. Can anybody summarize my exam makeup policy in a simple sentence? Don't miss exams. Like, tomorrow you're going to see that I've got them scheduled and I hit that schedule and I haven't missed in years. Knock on wood that nothing happens to me. That is not an invitation for you guys to attack me. You know ahead of time when the exams are, if work is calling you in, or your unit's being deployed, or your sports team has got a match or whatever. Like, we know these things ahead of time, right? So talk to me, communicate. We'll try to figure things out. The school has taken away all of like our testing centers and things like the makeup testing center, all that kind of stuff. And so the only time you have to make up an exam in my course is the day after. Like, literally during GRAS, my office hours, from like 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. is the only time you can make up an exam. So it's not, so like, just don't, and if you did it then, you'd have a harder test and a score penalty. So like, you just don't want to do that, right? And I know some of you are like, but Mr. Balogh, what if I get sick? All that kind of stuff. I get it. The pandemic taught us that sickness is scary and all that kind of stuff. And it is. I'm not making light of that. But we're at a point now where we just need to be kind of like we were before, where yes, you're sick. Wear a mask. Don't get the rest of us sick. But yeah, sometimes you just got to take a test when you have a fever. I was feverish, like out of the brain, taking physics exams, and I was lucky that it wasn't a philosophy exam or something, right? But like, sometimes you just got to do it when you're being asked to do it. It's often better that way than it is to put things off and all that kind of stuff. So they're really kind of tying our hands. They've really kind of ripped away a lot of our supports for teachers in terms of letting you make up stuff. So just do your best to not miss the exams, right? But if you do, we need to communicate early and figure out what we're going to do about it, right? So nobody uses phones anymore. Technology in class. Are you allowed to use your iPads, computers, phones, whatever? Yes! Oh my gosh, right? You guys were born, you came with Wi-Fi built in, right? You guys know how to use the technology probably better than I do. Like, yes, right? But what's the devil in the details there? What's the problem with technology in the classroom? Distraction, right? So let me help you. If you find yourself, when I say whip out your phones, look up this constant, blah, 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 whatever, look at the book, and you whip it out and all of a sudden you're doom scrolling, right? Let me help you. We can take control of your devices to make sure that they are in modes that cannot distract you while you're in here, right? The entire universe is on the other side of that door, right? And there's plenty of room out there for you to go doom scroll, whatever it is you want to do, okay, on your stuff, okay? In here, we want to leverage our technology to help us, right? Learn physics. And so I want to empower everybody in this room, whether you use technology or not. You are now allowed to tell the person next to you to stop using a distracting piece of technology, right? If they're sitting next to you and they're watching YouTube or playing a video game or doing something that's not physics, I authorize you to lean over and say, hey, you're not doing physics. Mr. Balogh said we should be doing physics in here. And if they get mad at you or give you the bird or whatever, let me know. I will kill them, okay? So, but like, while we're in here, let's use it, right? We have so much in here, right? A lot of it, no good. A lot of bad water in this bucket, right? But there's a lot of good water too. And it comes down to our individual responsibility and how we engage with it. I'm going to show somebody my home screen. How many red dots do you see on my home screen? 2 red dot, 1 red dot, it has a 2 on it, right? Can we verify? 1 red dot? If I asked you for your home screens, how many red dots would you have? 0? That 0 is the correct answer, okay? I have 2 on here on my messages, because my family's trying to get a hold of me, right? They're the only people that are allowed to put red dots on my home screen, right? Some of you, if we pulled out your email address, it probably says something like 600 million thousand unread messages, right? Or all of the social media. Why are they putting red dots? What do they want you to do? Spend time on their app, right? And I've watched it. People come, Mr. Balogh, I need some help. Great. Get your homework out. And they pull out their phone. They start. What just happened? Yeah, they're not getting their homework out. They're liking or whatever it is, right? Okay. So I can help you with that. Use it. And if you have trouble with getting distracted in it, let me know. I know how to help. Okay. The last instruction, okay? Please ask questions. Like, come up to me and ask a question before and after class, right? Just know that if you come up and say, hey, Mr. Balogh, I got a question on this homework problem, that's going to take more than 20 seconds for me to fix, right? And so universally, if you come up to me with a homework question before or after lecture or lab, I'm going to say, can you just email me that question? Like, take a picture of your work. What's your question? Just email me or come to GRASP, right? The thing is that immediately before this class, I've just finished teaching 2B, and I have to do a whole bunch of things, get the recording set up, get the demo set up, go to the bathroom, whatever, right? Okay, and I can't spend 5 minutes to 10 minutes on a homework problem, right? You might see me up here goofing off, chatting, talking about a video game or something with somebody, and you'll think, oh, now I can ask a homework question. Believe it or not, I'm actually not wasting time. What I'm doing is I'm transitioning psychologically from Physics 2B to Physics 2A, right? My brain needs to reset, and sometimes that reset is in the form of, hey, how you doing? Thinking about something else. So please ask me questions. Some students have said, well, don't ask Mr. Balogh any questions inside or outside of class. No, ask me questions. Just realize sometimes I'm going to say, I'm not going to answer that one right now. But let's figure it out later. Okay. You heard from the 3 that there's this thing called GRASP. This happens on Fridays. We actually have another section. If you can't make it on Fridays, let me know. I've got another option for you. What happens on Fridays in NS 138, which is the last lab room on the bottom floor on that side of the building, is we pull physics professors and all the tutors in the tutorial center that do physics tutoring, and we pull them over here. So we're all in a room, and you come in, and there's 10 of us and 1 of you, and you get help, right? GRASP makes or breaks grades in this class. It really does. You heard it from your fellow students. It's of vital importance. I understand that a lot of you, you didn't see it. Mr. Balogh, it wasn't on the schedule. This Friday is my work day. I get it. Yes. That's why I'm there at 7 a.m. Okay. My office hours go from 7 a.m. to 11:50 on Fridays in the GRASP room. Right? This is my only office hours. So if you've got 8 o'clock work and you want to come in and just get a couple of things banged out, let's do that. Right? But the tutorial center is open the rest of the week. Okay, we've got some other office hours from other teachers, and they said it's okay for you to come in, but I can tell you that person at a time. But GRASP is this wonderful place where you can get your homework done, and it works best if you've already looked at the homework ahead of time, and you come in with specific questions. Because if you come in and how can we help you? And you say, well, I haven't started yet. Well, okay, go over there, start, right? As things come up, let us know. So. That's it. GRASP runs from 8 to 1, but I am there starting at 7. My office hour goes from 7 to 11:50, right? But till 1 o'clock, there's other physics teachers, and all the physics teachers communicate. We know what's going on with each other's classes. So, how do you know these guys are scientists? Lab coats? No, I'm more cynical than that. Old white guys, right? Too many old white guys in science. But they've got lab coats, And there's a bunch of equations on the board. And what do all the equations add up to? 0, right? Okay. And the writing down here is very small, so I'll read it for you. It says, no doubt about it, Ellington, we've mathematically expressed the purpose of the universe. Gad, how I love the thrill of scientific discovery. We do a lot of math in here. We do, okay? Why do we do a lot of math in here? Because math is what? No. Kind of. Let's say that you want to study French literature of the 17th century. I might question your sanity, but let's just say that's something you want to study, right? Can you study French literature of the 17th century and not know French? I mean, Google Translate, right? Okay. Other people, the better than Google Translate, have translated the works, right, of the French writers and all that kind of stuff, right? So is it possible? Yes. Are you going to get more out of it if you know French? Right? So that's what math is to physics. So like you said, it was the foreign language of science, right? It's this idea that mathematics allows us to express connection between concepts that is very, very powerful. We can do it in a very compressed and concise way, right? But at its fundamental, physics, different from the other sciences, is an attempt to explain how the universe works. Science, in a broad sense, struggles with why, like the purpose of things. It's the question of why isn't a terribly scientific question. But how, what, when, and where, these are very scientific questions that we can use the tools of science to figure out. So physics is an attempt to explain how the universe functions. And physicists will get all arrogant and stuff and say, like, we're the chief science, and chemistry is just applied physics, and biology is just applied chemistry with a little bit of smelly in it, and like all that kind of stuff, right? But that's just human beings being petty and all that kind of stuff, right? Physics is this attempt to figure out how the universe is doing what it's doing. These are the 5 units that we'll do together in this class. There's lots of, ics in here, kinematics, right? Thermodynamics. So I tried to put in more like simple language, right? I did use the word why in here, right? In the sense that like Newton's laws, which is forces, give a reason for why things will move in the first place. A push or a pull gets something going. So we do ask some why questions in here. But these are the units we're going to do. Kinematics will feel hard. Like our very first unit will feel hard because you're not used to doing physics. You don't have the muscle memory and all that kind of stuff. And you're kind of getting used to how the class flows. But after you do units 2 and 3, you'll realize how easy the first unit was. And you'll be begging me, can we go back to the first unit, Mr. Balogh? That one was better. Because Newton's laws, momentum and rotation, are our peak difficulty in this course. They are, like, we ramp up, and then we hit peak difficulty in the 2 units, and then waves and sound and fluids and thermodynamics are kind of back to kinematics level of difficulty. So over and over again throughout my career, students have often remarked, can we just take the middle out, Mr. Balogh? Okay? No, we can't do that, right? Because we need the middle to be able to do things like waves and sound and fluid and thermodynamics and that kind of stuff. So just realize that it's a marathon, but all the hills are getting climbed in the middle, right? We don't really start kind of running downhill to the last 2 units. It's all difficult. It's all hard. Physics is hard. And I'm going to tell you this, and you're not going to believe me, so maybe I need to go get the 3 back so they can tell you. I am on your side. It is you and me versus physics, with 5 exceptions. And what are those 5 exceptions? They all start with E and end with exam. Okay? So there's 5 moments in this course where I do have to judge how well you've learned something, right? And the exam's the way we're going to do it. It's not a great way. It's very flawed, but it's what we got. The rest of the time, it's you and me together versus physics. And I'm here to help. And I hope that you feel that, and that in this class you will feel not only just respected, but also safe. And not just safe from physics, right? Safe from the outside world, okay? And especially safe with each other. If you're not feeling safe in here, I need to know right away so that I can kill people. That's kind of a joke. Okay, so with the time remaining, let's get started. You guys have read chapter 1, you're all ready to go, right? No, because you don't even know what the textbook looks like. Okay? So I'm going to pretend like you don't know anything, which is always a good place to start with physics students, right? And we're going to try and build. So I'm going to start some physics. Now, I said I'm going to start some physics. That's a lie. Physics doesn't start till chapter 2, because chapter 1 talks about units, does a little bit of trig, and does some things called vectors, which we're actually, I'm already messing up the script here, okay? Because your book so chapter 1 has vectors in it. I don't want to do vectors till after chapter 2. We don't need them in chapter 2. We need them before chapter 3, right? So chapter 1, we're going to break up just a little bit and do this. So let's just talk about units really quick. Units and unit systems. What's this? Not a ruler. It's a meter stick. How do you know it's a meter stick? Because it's a meter long. It's denoted in terms of centimeters on here. Okay? This is a meter stick. Thankfully, it has no inches on it. Okay? What's wrong with inches? It's stupid. Right? Like, okay. So there's really 2 kinds of unit systems in this world. And spoiler alert, the United States is already on the metric system. Let's see. How many centimeters are there in 2.68 meters? How many centimeters are there? 268. Oh, you guys are good. How'd you do that? 100, right? How many inches are there in 7.87 feet? No. Yeah, more than 78, right? Like, how many ounces are in a pound? Right? Huh? What? How many kilograms are there? No, yeah, how many grams are there in 1 kilogram? 1,000. What's going on here? What is the metric system based on?
Base 10.
It's like base 10. I wonder where we came up with that idea. Dividing everything by tens, right? Meters divided into technically decimeters, but then centimeters, right? And all those different kinds of things, right? Whereas 16 inches, or 12 inches in a foot, 16 ounces in a pound, like, does anybody know what the original definition of the foot was? I'm the king, this is my foot, that's a foot, right? Problems inherent with basing a unit measurement system on a human body are as follows. It's royalty. And one of the problems royalty has is inbreeding. So if a yard is the distance from the king's nose to the outstretched tip of their left hand, what happens when you get a... Right? Next generation. We got problems. Right? Does anybody remember? Does anybody know what the original definition of the meter was? This is 1/10,000,000th the distance between the equator and the North Pole. That's what it is. Okay. Notice it was 10 divisible by 10 millions, right? Okay. Actually, it was 1/10,000,000th the distance between the equator, a line running between the equator and the North Pole that runs through Paris, France. Sorry, I forgot that very important detail, right? Because the Earth is not spherical, right? It's not flat either, but it's not spherical. Does anybody know what the shape of the Earth is? It's an oblate spheroid. It means it's middle-aged, expanding in the middle. Okay, so it was based on like a physical measure. Nowadays, this is the distance that light travels in 1 over the speed of light. Okay, so 3 times 10 to the 8th meters per second, invert that. That's how far light can go in that short amount of time. So we based all of our physical units on things that don't change, like the speed of light. Now, our modern metric system is based on that. So when we take a look at who's using the metric system between who's not using the metric system, everything in gray is using the stupid unit system. But I already said that we're already using the metric system. Does anybody know what an inch is? Yeah, it's based on centimeters. Okay? When you go to the doctor and they're writing down your vitals, they're not writing it down in pounds. And they're not writing down your height in feet and inches. They might ask you for that, but then the computer will convert it for them for the medical record. It used to be that they just pull out a little table that would convert for them right away. Right? We've been using the metric system for actually almost 100 years in the United States, and nobody knows it. Right? We still hold on to concepts of miles and feet and inches and stuff like that. And we don't need to. How do you convert units? How do we convert 7.87 feet into meters? Hey Siri, how many meters are there in 7.87 feet? 2.4. That's how you do it, right? But how did Siri know how to do it? How did ChatGPT know how to do it? How does anything know how to do it? Formulas. Somebody mentioned a conversion factor. So if we go look it up, I wrote it down somewhere. I lied. Aha! It fell out. 1 meter is equal to 3.281 feet. That was a 281. Or, you can look it up the other way, 1 foot is equal to 0.3048 meters. Now we got a problem, right? We got 2 conversion factors that are taking us between feet and meters. Which one do we use? And which one do we divide by? Or multiply by? The answer is, I have no idea. I'm going to let the units do the talking. So this is what I suggest you do. Start with what you know, 7.87 feet, and then always multiply. I'm going to cheat here a little bit. Always multiply by a ratio. Because what's division? Multiplying by a fraction. Okay, so you're always going to multiply, but it's going to be a ratio. And what goes on the bottom? Feet. How do you know feet goes on the bottom? So that it can cancel out like any other number or symbol or anything else, right? What goes on the top? Meters. So what numbers do we put in? Do we use the 1 meter equals 3.281 feet, or do we use the 1 foot equals 0.3048 meters? It doesn't matter. Thank you, whoever said that over there. It doesn't matter. Because if we do 1 meter on the top and 3.281 feet on the bottom, or we do 0.3048 meters and 1 foot on the bottom, guess what answer you're going to get? The same. These will both be 2.4. And so I don't clutter my mind up with which conversion factor, in what order, or anything. I just remember that I always multiply. I just multiply, and then I put the units, numerator, denominator, depending on what it is I want to do. And then whatever conversion factor I'm given, I just make sure the numbers go where they're supposed to, right? Because this is something called dimensional analysis. The units know. Sometimes the units know better than we do what needs to happen, right? But being able to convert units becomes very important, especially when we get compound units, which I'm going to teach you about on Thursday. We're going to start with compound units. We're going to learn how to take quizzes. We're going to finish up chapter 1 with a trig review, and we're going to get started on chapter 2. Because I think I'm already behind because I was supposed to do all of chapter 1 today. I knew that wasn't going to happen. So tomorrow, lab. What's the important thing about tomorrow? Come to the class you are enrolled in or trying to get into, right? And then Thursday, we'll finish up 1, get started on 2. Your homework starts, I think your first homework's due this Saturday. So make sure you're on Canvas figuring that stuff out, and we'll go over a lot of it tomorrow in lab. Have a fantastic rest of the day.